Journal, The First Echo writes the last word by Ruben White. February 15th. Today I keep hearing that line, if you want to know the end, look at the beginning. It landed in my chest like a reminder and a warning at the same time. I'm starting to suspect my life is a prophecy written backwards, with the ending scribbled into the first scene while I was still blinking in the new light. When I walk into my own memories, it feels like stepping into an old photograph. My shadow is already there, waiting, older than the smile I was trying on for the camera. Sometimes I look at where I am now and it feels random, like someone shook my days in a jar and poured them out on the table. But if I breathe and trace the line back, I can see the tiny decisions that quietly voted me into this moment. The frame was already chosen, I've just been changing my posture inside it. I'm realizing beginnings are not as innocent as they pretend to be. That first yes I gave to exhaustion, to people-pleasing, to silence, it looked so small. Like a pebble in a lake. But the ripples have been busy behind my back, choreographing where I'd stand, who I'd love, what I'd tolerate. I think about past relationships that started as jokes or casual, we're just talking, situations. I remember the first joke that cut a little too deep, the first boundary I swallowed instead of speaking. Back then I thought, it's not that serious. Now I can see those early moments were the blueprint, not the bloopers. The ending was already warming up in the wings. There's something about knowing this that feels both heavy and liberating. Heavy because it means I'm not as surprised as I pretend to be. Liberating because if the beginning speaks that loudly, then changing the beginning of a new chapter might change where I land. I'm starting to ask myself harder questions. What was the first thing I believed about love? What was the first thing I believed about my own worth? Who taught me that my needs were negotiable, and why did I agree? It's wild how the first belief becomes a quiet contract I keep signing, over and over, without reading the fine print. Today I tried to catch a beginning in real time. Someone asked me to do something I didn't have the energy or desire to do. Usually I would say, sure, and then resent it later. I could already see that familiar ending. Me depleted, them confused, and no one sure how we got there. I thought about the proverb and realized, this is a beginning. So I paused and said, actually, I can't do that today. The sentence felt heavy in my mouth, like a foreign language. But when it left me, I felt the future shift just a little, as if a door I usually walk through without looking suddenly swung in a different direction. Maybe changing the end isn't always dramatic. Maybe it's one small, uncomfortable sentence at the start. I'm also noticing that some beginnings aren't mine. They're inherited, family patterns, cultural narratives, old wounds that started before I was even here. It's like moving into an old house with cracked windows and creaking floors. I didn't choose the architecture, but I do choose what I repair, what I repaint, what I refuse to pass down. There's a strange comfort in realizing I can become someone else's beginning. If I heal a little, if I tell the truth a little sooner, if I love myself a little louder, maybe the people after me won't have to start at the same intersection. Maybe their endings will not have to undo as much of what mine accepted as normal. The more I look back, the less random my life feels. The first time I stayed quiet when I wanted to speak. The first time I laughed at my own pain so it wouldn't make anyone uncomfortable. The first time I called myself too much or not enough and treated those labels like facts instead of wounds. These were not just moments. They were scripts. They taught the future how to treat me, and they taught me how to collaborate with that treatment. But here's the crack of light in all of this, I am still alive inside the story. The ink on today is not dry. I can look at the beginning of this next thing, a habit, a project, a relationship, a thought. And ask, if I follow this to the end, do I like where it goes? If I don't, I can choose a different first step, even if my legs are used to the old path. Tonight, before bed, I wrote a small note to myself. If you want a different ending, guard the beginning like a sacred door. I'm not sure I can rewrite all the chapters that came before, but I can be more awake at the thresholds. I can listen more closely when a new yes or no is forming on my tongue. I can stop pretending that my first choices are harmless. The first echo writes the last word. But I'm the one holding the mouth that makes the sound.